It has been a hot minute since I've done a backlog video, and for very good reason. Back in October of 2022, I had this idea to create a series of videos where I take games that I'm trying to play through in my personal backlog collection and talk about them, giving me a reason to try and get through them in a timely manner. And then I got sick, and then I got sick again in December, and lost all motivation, and here we are in April of 2023, and I'm making my second backlog video. This is Klonoa, Door to Phantomile. I played the version that was part of the Phantasy Reverie Series, which collects remastered versions of the Wii remake of Klonoa, Door to Phantomile, and the PS2 sequel, Klonoa 2, Lunatia's Veil, into one package. There are other games that were released in the Klonoa franchise for the Game Boy Advance and the WonderSwan, as well as a beach volleyball spin-off, but sadly those are all missing. Part 1, the story. Developed by Bandai Namco for the PS1, Klonoa onto store shelves in 1998 here in North America. It quickly gained a cult following for its unique gameplay, charming character, and breathtaking visuals. The story follows the titular character Klonoa, who's a rabbit dog terriermon, as he journeys around the land of Phantomile, fighting off the forces of darkness and attempting to retrieve the legendary moon pendant from Joka and his master, serial flasher Gadius. You're joined by Hupao, the spirit of a magic ring that's the size of Klonoa's head, along with a cavalcade of colorful cartoonish characters from each of the world's zones as you platform your way through a total of 6 visions, 2 stages each, collecting gems and pieces of a mosaic. The game is a lot darker than I thought it was going to be, with the villains actively going out of their way to do horrendous acts to the citizens of Phantomile, even going so far as to completely unalive someone. I'm not going to say who it was because spoilers, but let me just say that this moment was so unexpected that when it happened, I just had to put the game down for a week. I don't know what I was expecting. Eventually, you make your way to the legendary Moon Kingdom, learn the truth about Hupao, fight the serial flasher, and learn your entire existence is a lie. You have no friends, your grandpa isn't even your real grandpa, your memories are fabricated, and you're not even part of this world. Great game, 10 out of 10. Game Awards, Game of the Year, 20K ever. Perfect for ages 3 and up. Part 2. Exploration. At its core, Klonoa is a platformer, and not just in the sense that it's, got platforms, but you get to explore this world in glorious 2.5D. Some levels are straightforward jump-a-thons, some are on rails, and some at the end are branching path treasure hunts. The real magic comes in the presentation, with each vision having their own overarching theme with individual designs and flow across each of the sub-levels. It really feels like it's made up of a dream. The implementation of the 2.5D really keeps you on your toes too, making sure you're always checking every nook and cranny for secrets. The exploration and treasure hunting are made incredibly easy as well thanks to the enemies that are scattered around the area. Part 3. Combat. Sure, Corby had the market cornered on acquiring enemies, but Klonoa ties it into the gameplay in a way that sets it apart from other platformers. But just look at him! He's a little guy! How are you supposed to give the enemies the big suck? It's actually quite simple. You grab enemies with a wind bullet ability and sacrifice them to the blood god. Every enemy can be grabbed and tossed away to interact with trigger switches, attack bosses, break armored enemies, grab collectibles, and even break open those leftover Easter eggs. You can even use your enemies to gain an extra bit of height for a jump, or even chain jumps and grabs together to gain incredible height. Did I mention the enemies are also stupid adorable? The bosses at the end of each world are easily some of the best designed pieces I've ever seen. Each one tests how well you've mastered grabbing and throwing, platforming in different ways to make each boss feel wholly unique. My personal favorite was the battle against Palladium. The music just built on the tension of the previous scene, and the entire fight takes place on a frickin' swinging bridge! Part 4. Collectibles. In terms of collectibles, it's really only the mosaic pieces. They are a pretty cool way to handle collectibles though, as it represents the sleeping inhabitants of Phantomile trapped in dreams. But wow, can some of them be a real challenge to collect. Some require you to platform with incredibly tight timing and precision. Others see you needing to carry a singular enemy through a gauntlet of an entire level just to throw it at one specific target. It's a nice challenge, and if you can collect all 72 Phantomilions, you're rewarded with a lovely song. Oh, and an extra level. Part 5, the extras. There's none. Okay, so maybe that's a little bit of an overstatement. As I mentioned, there is a bonus level that you get by rescuing all the Phantomilians, but there are also some pretty cool costumes that you can change Klonoa into. They don't do anything, and almost all of them are locked behind paid DLC, but actually, yeah, no, that's entirely it. In my opinion, Klonoa absolutely lived up to the legacy. I had completely missed this game growing up as I wasn't on the PlayStation at the time, but oh my god, I can see, after just playing the first game, I can see why it's so loved. And honestly, it got me interested enough to want to play the second game. I'm not even a big fan of platformers, so who knows, maybe we'll even see a video with me talking about that someday. Now, if only I could wake up from this dream where we don't have a new Golden Sun game.